So, welcome to Longevity Masters. I'm your host, Grant Hutchby, and we are in a slightly different setting today. But as you all know, Longevity Masters is all about providing the tools for male entrepreneurs to reverse their biological age. And we have a big mission here, and that's to help 1,000 male entrepreneurs reverse their age by 10 years. That's 10,000 years of life given back to not only the people involved, but their loved ones as well. Now, I have a special setting, as you can see, nice and relaxed, and I have a special guest. If you don't realise, you'll probably realise as soon as you hear his voice, this is my brother, Mark, and we're going to start off. I'm not going to take any of his thunder away. I've already taken the thunder of his name away. So I always start off just by letting my guest introduce themselves. So, Mark, how would you describe who you are and what you do in simple terms?
I've thought about this for quite a lot of time, actually. And for me, for a long time, it was about me. It was about me, and it was quite a selfish me as well, without even realising it. So, but the way I describe myself now is it's not about me, it's about we. The secret to living is giving. And yes, you have to take care of yourself. Yes, you have to, make sure that number one is taken care of. But then as soon as that has been done, your time is then, or my time is devoted to giving. My time is devoted to serving. And it's about making amazing experiences. It's about making amazing experiences for myself to happen through me, but also for things to happen to me that will then help others have amazing things happen to them, to and through them.
Okay. What do you do?
Well, as in my job?
Yeah.
That's a lifestyle.
That was such an inspirational start. I think I'm going to have to bring it down a peg.
I know, right?
So what is it you do? Okay, driving instructor. Fantastic. And how'd you get into that?
During COVID.
But it's your own driving school, isn't it?
Yeah. I started training through a driving school, local to the area, in Crawley, Creek Crawley.
Crawley, West Sussex.
Crawley, West Sussex.
Okay.
And it was predominantly through COVID, where I was furloughed for 3 months, being paid more than I was paid when I was working. And I thought, this is wicked. This is so cool. I'm enjoying my time with my family, and I'm enjoying my time with myself as well, which was quite nice because I didn't really have a lot of time to myself when I was working before. And I realised that I was spending so much time away from the family. I've got to make this lifestyle work for us and me, and not make things revolve around work. So I started with that. And when I came out of lockdown, I went back to work and I went, wow, this is shit. And I fucking hated it. So I decided to put all of my time and effort into doing something else that I thought was going to really benefit me. And alongside that, Grandad was a driving instructor. I wasn't even thinking about the time when I was looking at doing that. And one of our cousins up in Scarborough was a driving instructor and was retiring at the time. Mm-hmm. And basically, as soon as I started as a driving instructor, within that year, he then fully retired.
Oddly, the reason that I started, not the total reason, but one of the drivers behind starting my entrepreneurial journey for the second time properly was because Grandad died.
Yeah.
And the two reasons was, one, I was talking to him about property before he died, but also it gave me the confidence to start something up, because not that I was going to get life-changing money from him dying, but I knew I was going to get a little bit of inheritance. What's really odd is I never actually ended up using the inheritance towards my business. It had already started up and was successful before I even got any of that inheritance. It just gave me the confidence to get going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I didn't even think about that initially when I was training as a driving instructor. And it was only after I qualified, I don't know how long it was, probably like a year or two afterwards, that I then realised, I'm like, yeah, Grandad was a driving instructor. I honestly didn't think about it almost at all for that first year or year and a half. I didn't even think about it. And then it got to a point, I'm like, right, I'm taking people to driving tests now. And I've got to wear stuff that makes me feel good when I take people to driving tests. So I wore Grandad's Brighton shirt with his little B and A logo here, just like a polo neck. And then I'd wear his Brighton jacket. I'd have his little Brighton scarf in the boot of my car. And I'd have the little ribbons that Lucy made, my wife Lucy, made for Grandad's funeral that everyone wore on their blazers, dresses, etc. So I've got that all in the car. And I used to do it because I was actually trying to help others, help my students to feel good as well. But actually, looking at it, it's actually just making me feel good, because I get so nervous when I take people to a driving test. So nervous before.
You want them to do well.
Yeah, it feels like my test, you know, because I've been training them for how many months or even years for that matter. So, yeah, I want them to feel good. And I'll explain every single time, I'll explain why I've got these things. And I'll always ask someone to bring something that's special to them as well. Even if it's just something as simple as one of my students brought, a highlighter that was given to them by a friend before she went and did her GCSEs. And then she brought it to a test and like absolutely smashed the test and didn't get any faults, or got like one fault. So, yeah.
But you know what I just thought of?
Right.
You know, you remember the last time that I interviewed you?
When?
Where we were. The last time I interviewed you. The only ever time that I interviewed you.
I can't even remember the last you even interviewed me, to be honest with you right now.
We were kids.
Was it on what we were dressed in the cowboy?
And where
boots
were we?
Butt naked.
Where were we? On the bed.
I know. Better not take a trousers off, though.
No, we won't do this one naked. Okay,
The
cool.
cowboy boots on.
So, thank you for that. Started your entrepreneurial journey by becoming a driving instructor,
Yeah.
mainly because you want to give back, which
Yeah.
is great.
yeah.
So this show's all about longevity. Okay?
Mm.
When you hear the word longevity and mastering your longevity, what does that mean to you?
I don't want to get all smart about it. I don't want to really
Make it
have an
simple.
intellectual thing about it, but it is basically for me is to live as long as I can, as healthily as possible, regardless of when I die, so that I can just be that type of energy that I've always been throughout my life. Like always been. All right, patch when I was like 9 years old, where went through quite a big period in my life where lost, you know, Gar, our great granddad, and then lost my friend 6 days later. And that put me into a bit of a depression quite early in life without me even realising it, because I didn't even know how to deal with it at the time.
No. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But not trying to get into that right now, but it's to just the energy that I've had throughout my whole life. I'm 38 years old now, and every single year my goal is to get younger. So like now, since you gave me that Hume, is it Hume?
Body pod, yeah.
The body pod for Christmas.
Yeah.
I never even thought about, I had been thinking about my biological age, but I never knew what it was. And I think a couple of years ago, just over a couple of years ago, I was the heaviest I'd been, I felt the oldest I'd felt, and I was actually quite happy at times, but then there were moments where I was really unhappy. And I definitely looked like I was in my 40s and felt like I was in my 40s, and I was 36, biological age of 28. I'm 38 years old, so I'm 10 years younger than my than my actual age,
Nice.
versus what I had felt like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, so I even if you just looked at photos, a photo I'm thinking of right now, me and Lucy, my wife, were on the train up to London to watch a show, and this show was a big turning point for me. But this is on the way up there, and I looked at me and I see these wrinkles here, wrinkles there. My face looks.
Do you still have that photo?
Yeah.
Send it to me, and what we'll do is
Yeah.
we'll layer it on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
show so,
And it's not
so
like-
people can see it.
I don't look massive and I don't look really fat, but I just look at that and I go, oh God, I look tired. And I look knackered, and I felt knackered, but I was actually quite happy in that photo. I was really happy in that photo actually. But then reflecting on it, I was like, God, if I kept going in the direction I'd been going then, I probably would have had a heart attack in 5 years. I'd bag on it actually. I'd bag on it, like,
Okay.
yeah.
So your version of longevity is having more energy, more vitality now,
Yeah.
so that it extends that vitality for as long as it possibly
and
can.
to just be the best role model I can be. And I'm not saying that I've learned to be this role model by myself, because I haven't. I hate it when people say, oh, it's all self-made, because it's not. You're not self-made. You choose to do it, yes, but You learn stuff from other people. Right, success leaves clues. Like, if anyone that says that they did it all by themselves, you learn stuff from other people.
Success leaves clues.
Right, success leaves clues. Like, if anyone that says that they did it all by themselves, yeah, you chose to do it by yourself.
I think there is such a thing as being fed by a silver spoon.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you weren't fed by a silver spoon.
No, it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Correct.
You can't. So you can direct someone as much as you possibly can, and hopefully, that person then chooses to do it. And that's who I am. Is just to be the best role model. And I've learned from the best role models and other role models in my life. You know,
Yeah.
not icons. I'm not going to say that, but role models. You know, so
I think,
yeah.
you know, obviously me being your brother, I've seen your journey firsthand. But actually, you've made quite a lot of transitions and a lot of directional changes, and you've been a little bit emotionally unstable sometimes.
And I still am at times.
But you've got a conscious awareness of it.
Totally, I'm a lot more aware of it.
Which is, everyone's got their things that they're not good at, or things that they have to watch out for. Before you started making these changes, that I know you've been up and down your entire life, but really it's been the last couple of years that you really started making step changes in your health, longevity, your vitality, your energy, your peace, so to speak. Have been on a little bit of a journey over the last couple of years. You've had your ups and downs, but the last couple of years have probably been the most solidifying in terms of your longevity journey, your entrepreneurial journey, your health and vitality. Before that, what wasn't working for you physically and mentally? Why has it been the last couple of years that you've made the biggest step changes, do you think?
Personally, I mean, I know that I've made a lot of changes in the last couple of years, and especially within that first few months of the when it started. But personally, I think it's just been my evolution, right? So I went through 36 years the way I went through it, and incredible times, incredible moments. Very grateful for every single part of that.
Who you are.
Mate, and it is who I am, and it's constantly not changing. I want to be careful with the language here, because yes, things change, but I am always going to be who I am. And when I was trying to change things, I kept coming back to who I was.
So you were trying to change who you are, not work with who you are.
Right, exactly. So when I realised that, it was to work with who I am and to, you know, surround myself with the things and the people that are going to help me thrive in life. Until that point, I was yo-yoing up, I was yo-yoing down, yo-yoing up, yo-yoing down.
Yeah.
And there's still parts of that that's still happening now, but it's a lot less than it was happening before. And like you mentioned, it's that self-awareness of when it's starting to happen, which
Nip it.
now, you know, it's like Tony Robbins says, right? It's just like, kill that monster whilst it's a baby. Don't let the monster grow. Because if you let it grow, don't water the weeds, water the seeds. Like, because if you keep watering those weeds, I mean, what's going to happen? Nothing good's going to happen from that. And that's another important thing that I've realised, is that I just love pain. I love pain. I don't like suffering. I hate suffering. Two different things. Like, pain and suffering. Like, suffering is just like that thought in your head that you keep just ruminating on for just hours and days and weeks and months and years.
That's it. Pain is something you feel. Suffering is something you dwell on.
And
you
choose suffering. And some people choose it, knowing they're choosing it, and then just continue to suffer. It's that victim mindset. You're being a victim, not a victor.
I've got a saying,
you know?
called, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's mental. It's absolutely mental. And I was doing it a little bit today. I was choosing to flipping suffer. And then I just went to myself, oh, I'm done with this. I'm done. And I chose that within like half an hour this time, not a week later. Yeah. Not a month later, you know.
So,
yeah.
This might get a bit deep, but I'll try and keep it on the straight and narrow. Talk us through how you feel when you're becoming emotionally unstable.
How I feel when I'm becoming emotionally unstable.
Yeah, how do you notice it?
I start flapping. I'll start bouncing between things like bang, 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 bang. And it will be good things, bad things, like the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Erratic.
Yeah, I'm becoming, say, unstable, but there's the structure's gone.
Yeah.
You know, the structure's gone. And
interesting. So you need structure to stay emotionally
yeah,
stable.
but I need to have flexibility in the structure.
Of course.
I can't just say, because I did scheduling, and I've done scheduling for quite a long time. And
That's a really good point, bud. You need structure, but you need to have flexibility within the structure so you don't feel bound by it. So that's a really good point.
And you made me very aware of that when we were doing coaching last year. And another thing that also my other coach before that we used to discuss quite a lot is like, have a schedule, but don't become a slave to it. You're the master of the schedule.
Yeah.
The schedule's not the master of you. So if you're like really depressed because what you're doing, what the fuck is wrong with you if you're getting depressed? Do you know what I mean? Change what you're doing, mate. Like, just change what you're doing. Don't matter. You can literally in an instant just go, I don't want to cook dinner. Just go on Uber Eats and order something then. Just leave it. Yes. You got to do the dishwasher. Just put it down. Do it tomorrow. You don't have to keep circulating in that downward spiral of just utter chaos. And the first thing I remember we talked about on our first coaching call over a year ago was, what is your goal? What is the overall thing? And then you helped me get to it. And it was like finding clarity within the chaos. The chaos will still be there. It's not going to go away. The world's still going to turn. It's still going to revolve. So now you can choose to react or not react.
Yeah.
So just choose to react if you want to get emotionally involved in a negative way, or choose not to react and just sit in that chaos and just go,
okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So what do you do when you see yourself getting into that? How do you snap yourself out of it?
Radically change my physiology.
Okay.
I'll go and have a cold shower and scream in it for a few minutes.
Okay.
Or I'll breathe through it. Or I'll go do some press-ups. Or I'll sit on my bed or downstairs and just sit there and just do my box breathing, or do my 1-4-2 breathing, or do my obnoxious breathing. I will just radically change. And even if it means I radically change it, right, by going from mentally chaotic physically to just sitting down and doing nothing. Because that's still a radical change. Do you know what I mean? The radical change I used to think was all getting into peak state, like just going mental. But actually, that radical change can just be find a quiet corner somewhere and just doing nothing. Putting your hands under your legs and just sitting there.
Or a radical change of physiology doesn't have to be high energy. It just has to be very different to your previous state.
Yeah. And like, it took me so long to understand that peak state, there's so many different types of peak state. There's not just one peak state.
Yeah.
You know? And anger actually can be a really good thing. There's nothing wrong with anger, provided you're not projecting that anger negatively on someone else. You don't have the right to do that. It's not I don't have the right to project like that on people, even though I do at times. But then I'm not thinking in my head, I'm going to make that person feel bad. It is a blow up from just things happening that I'm not happy with, that don't fit my blueprint. And I just, do you know what I mean? Like you just need to change something. And I've done it before where this is a very radical change where 11:30 at night, I just can't go to sleep. So I just go for a drive, you know, and I'll pelt it down Pease Pottage Hill up towards Pease Pottage roundabout within the speed limit. And I've only done that. But there's like these examples of things that you can do.
Yeah, I mean, radical change of state really does flip you out of it. I guess you've been more consciously aware of when you're not in the place that you want to be. So then you make a change in the moment to snap yourself out of it.
Yeah.
What was, so you mentioned you saw a photo a couple of years back.
Yeah.
But what was the actual moment that you said, I need to do something different here?
November the 8th of November 2023.
Okay.
I'd started getting up 5 a.m. club, and it was all like, I didn't choose to do it directly because I had loads of driving tests early in the morning at 7 o'clock, so I had to get up like 4:30, 5 to get down to my students to take them to their test. And then I thought, I've done this. There's got to be something in this. Happened. I've had 4 7 a.m. tests in 2 weeks, and I'm like, something's got to be happening. And you had just gifted me that coaching through Tony Robbins a few weeks before that.
Yeah.
And it was the 8th of November 2023, and I was tidying up downstairs in the kitchen at like 5:30 in the morning, and I just closed my eyes for a sec while I was listening to Better When I'm Dancing by Meghan Trainor. And I just looked up and there was just this light, like it was the light right in the kitchen, but it just glowed when I had my eyes closed. It was just incredible, it's glowing. I'm like, what is going on here? And I just felt this euphoria of just perspective has changed. Like I can see things from so many different perspectives now. And then on that walk to the school with the girls in the morning, it was pissing it down with rain. Parents were rushing with their kids to get to school. Cars were splashing everyone. There was utter chaos outside. It was like a bloody jungle. Like seriously, a blooming jungle. And I was just walking, carrying my youngest, and then dropped off my eldest at school. And everyone was just really upset. And I was like, well, what does the rain do? What does it bring? What does the rain do? Then I asked her, who's walking about right now, I said, what does rain give us? And she was like, tough. And I was like, great. And what do you do with water then? This is along the lines of, not exactly the words. And she was just like, looking up, smiling, with the water splashing on us. And I was just like, yeah, makes you happy, doesn't it? Would you be able to drink water? No, that's where we get our water from. What about swimming? We get to go swimming, don't we? It grows all our vegetables, it grows all our fruits. And some people be like, oh mate, give it a rest, this is a load of rubbish. Whatever. I choose to look at things as often as I can, so it doesn't happen all the time, but as often as I can, in, again, choosing my words carefully here, in the best way I can. Because if I go, I'm going to be all positive about stuff, positivity only comes with very hard work. You've got to work hard to be positive.
It's like a muscle.
Yeah, you can only grow positivity by saying the best things as often as you can. But you're only human, so you're gonna lose it at times. You're gonna be upset. You're gonna be sad, and that's great. That's dealing life. But it was that day, 8th of November 2023, and I remember getting home after the school run, doing a video, and I've got to find this video. And I was just euphoric, and I called Lucy up, and I talked to her in a way that I haven't spoken to her ever, I don't think. And she could hear the change in my voice. She probably doesn't remember this conversation, but for me, I remember I was just putting something in the recycling bin. And I forgot what I was saying exactly, but I was just like, everything's amazing. Like, everything is just amazing right now.
So, when did you start sorting out how your consistency training and your consistency with your diet? When did you start doing that? Was that around the same sort of time?
Yeah, so a few days before that, we went to see a show up in London called The Little Big Things. And it's a brand new musical that they just brought out into a new theatre up in Soho. I can't remember the name of the theatre, but it's a new theatre in Soho. It's literally just opened in 2023 at the end of the year. And we watched this show, and I'd had a few wines. This is the picture that I was talking to you about. Yeah, we're on the train up to see that show. And yeah, I just remember crying my eyes out watching this show. Like, I was blubbering. Normally Lucy's the one crying her eyes out, or at least being a lot more emotional. And I was blubbering like a little baby watching this show. And the reason why I was crying, I remember it, was because every single character reminded me of someone in my life that I had just not been seeing life in that way at that time. So I saw a character that reminded me of you. I saw a character that reminded me of Carl. I saw a character that reminded me of John. I saw a character that reminded me of Nick. And I saw characters that reminded me of Mum and Dad. And I was blubbering for like 20 minutes straight. Like, I could not, like, no one could stop me crying. And I had a few wines, but I think that was important because it helped me get into that state.
Right.
And then that happened. Then the 8th of November happened a few days later. But it was yes, it was a switch that had been flipped that night. But there were lots of little switches before that as well. Like you offering me the coaching for free. And that was when we were on the way down for a holiday away for a week. And then all these things that happened when I was away. Then had a coaching call down when we were away in the New Forest that year in October 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember driving down and I hadn't listened to Craig David for ages. And I started listening to all the songs I used to listen to when I was a kid. And I'm like, I was just, I can remember every word and I was singing every song note for note. And it just, this is who I am. You know, this is who I am. And then from that point onwards, that's when things started to then change. So then I started cutting down my meals and literally just made my meal as normal and just cut it in half and had half a meal every single time. Cut out sweets, cut out chocolate, went cold turkey on that, cut out potato, cut out rice, cut out bread, went completely cold turkey. Because that's how I did it before, years before when I wanted to lose weight to go to America to see the family, so I had a beach body. So I thought, right, that's the only way I know, so I'm going to do that. And then I cut down 3 stone, 42 pounds in 3 months. Bang. I was like, I know what I want. I didn't know how much I wanted to lose, but I got down to the same size that I was 10 years before.
So what was different about this time?
I wasn't just doing it for me. Like I said before, it's not about me, it's about we. I was like, I don't know if I consciously thought about it, to be honest with you, at the time, but reflecting on it over the last however many months or years, last year or last few months, I've been doing it so that I can serve others. And
in what way?
To just put knowledge that I've gained over the years to people like me.
Yeah, okay.
To people like me. Because every single person that is in my life, whether they come into my life involuntary or whether I have decided that I want them to be in my life, they're all like me in one way, shape or form. You know. I mean, I didn't know that Lucy was going to be doing the same course as me at uni, but like she is the perfect person for me. People say about soulmates and stuff, right? I don't have just one soulmate. Lucy is my wife. Lucy is like the other half of me. We are together, we are one. And then you're another person in my life. And then I've got Dad and I've got Mum, Chris, my girls, friends around me. Like they are all the energy that you give off. They then are attracted to that. It's like the law of attraction, right? You attract what you want in your life. And like even the people that I help within my business, I don't look at them as clients, I don't look at them as customers. These are friends I've just never met yet. And like I still talk to some of them now. And I feel this real like excitement to help people like me as often as I can. And then in that comes the burnout as well. Because I want to help so many people, I then start forgetting about the ones immediately in my life.
Yeah, you say yes too often.
I say yes. And I wouldn't say that I am a yes man. I wouldn't say I'm a yes man as such.
You're eager to please.
I don't know how to say no.
That's another way of saying that you're a yes man.
No. But I just like, I just don't say no a lot of the time, you know? Like, so yeah, I suppose I could say that I'm a yes person, right?
Perfect. So, quick fire questions then before we sort of, doesn't have to be one answer, but quick answers. Best thing that you changed with your diet?
Cutting out sweets and chocolate.
Removing sugar.
Removing
poison,
toxicity.
And alcohol.
And, oh yeah, apart from last night.
Hey, look.
But before you say anything else,
it's 80-20, right?
It's being intentional, right? And it's being purposeful.
Good word.
It's being purposeful.
Good word.
With
intention.
When you sent me a video, it's like the only thing you can control is what you put into your body, but also what you put into your mind. They're the only things you can control. And even that at times you can't.
Well, you can't control what goes into your brain or what thoughts you have, but you can control what they mean.
Yeah, what you focus on. Yeah, exactly.
That's the biggest control that you have, is the meaning that you give something, which is why, bringing back Tony Robbins says meaning equals life.
Yeah.
The meaning you give something is how you experience life. Yeah. You've changed a lot of the meaning.
Yeah.
So cutting out sugar, reducing alcohol, really good one. Next thing, biggest thing that you changed with your sleep and recovery?
Well, going to bed earlier and getting up earlier.
Interesting.
Going to bed earlier, and that's only happened recently because I was going to bed later and getting up earlier. So I was only getting 5 or 6 hours sleep for over a year and a half.
Fair enough.
Whereas before that, I was going to bed at the same time but getting up at like 6:30, 7. But now I'll be wanting to be in bed ready to sleep by 10 and up at 5.
Okay, cool. Daily movement.
Lots.
What did you change with that?
Well, when I started going back to the gym consistently, I wrote down my goals of what I wanted to achieve. And it was just simply as go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week.
So basically what you made a commitment to do is basically be consistent with the amount of times you went to the gym.
And do the hardest thing first.
Fine.
So I was like, I'm not doing the gym later in the day. I'm going to do the gym first thing in the morning.
Cool.
6 a.m. I'm in there as soon as it opens.
Okay.
You know, and I did that 4 to 5 days a week actually for the first 6 months, and then realised I've got a family. So then it turned to 3 days, and now it's a minimum. Well, it's exactly 3 days a week I go to the gym.
So they say the heaviest weight to lift in the gym is the front door.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So then, building on that, what's the best thing that you changed within your training within the gym?
Rest, recovery.
No, actually.
In the gym.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to say. It's just getting it out now. Training to failure.
Interesting. Like it. So actually putting your body under muscular failure on a regular basis, but then, like I say, giving yourself time to rest and recover.
Yeah, like do a 30-minute intentional workout, and that's all you do. And there's people at the gym that you know, so I'll do my best to still make sure that if I'm talking to someone within that 2-minute rest period between my sets, I'll go straight back to it. Sorry, I'll be back to the set.
Yeah,
so then I'll go straight back to it. All right, and there'll be times where you forget and then you talk to them for too long.
Really like that.
But it's important to, have a structure, stick to it, especially at the gym, right? But if there's someone there that needs your time and wants to talk to you, give them that time. Give them that time.
Yeah, I mean, one of the benefits of going to a gym is the social aspect.
Oh, God, it's so important. Like, I get the type of person that's just like, go to the gym, hit it hard, don't care about anyone else. Nothing wrong with that. But personally for me, I will be like that sometimes when there's no one around that I'm speaking to. But if there's someone there, I'm not going to dismiss them. It's like the most important thing, the precious gift you can give someone is your time, is your attention. There's no other better gift than that.
Absolutely.
No other better gift than that. So the gift of time. And it's like time is money. Time is fucking
And what are we trying to do here? We're trying to give back time.
Exactly. We're trying to make more time.
We're trying to make more time, trying to reverse time. Love it. So biggest things you changed with the gym then were intention and intensity.
Yeah. Definitely. And not sitting there like nothing wrong with it. Just want to say nothing wrong with it. But just sitting on a machine, looking at their phone for 4 minutes before they start the next bloody set. And I went up to someone and I said, are you doing anything here? No, could you just move so I can get my set in?
Well, what I actually do, interestingly,
I'll be rude about it most of the time, by the way, but yeah, just
between sets, I will walk around the gym for 2 reasons. One, to get my steps in and sort of reset myself from the set that I've just done.
Yeah.
But also, it gives me a chance to go and interact with a few people.
Definitely.
As opposed to being really offish.
I mean, if you did that at K2 when there was the old gym, you'd lose what you were working on, so you couldn't move from it. But I would circle around it.
K2.
I'd circle around.
That's where I learned to be a personal trainer.
They just renovated.
Okay, cool. Last couple quick fire ones.
Go on, I'm going to answer really quick.
So, best thing that you did to change your daily working structure and environments?
Scheduled it.
So you actually scheduled everything in, but allowed flexibility to the schedule.
Yeah, and I scheduled it on Google Calendar to begin with, but now I just schedule it by writing it down every morning.
Okay.
I don't have a time limit really, because if I'm on lessons, I know what I'm doing within that 6 or 8.
Your lessons are scheduled in, and then you write down what you want to do.
Yeah, like this morning, for example, I literally just wrote down on there. I was like, okay, breakfast for girls, walk muffin, prep for now, Lucy singing lesson, dinner at Premier Inn. And then within that, I've got a lot of flexibility to kind of do what I want.
Yeah.
You know, that was the and that's basic weekend structure. Weekday structure is different because of work and school.
Okay.
But on the weekend, it's a lot more basic.
The final quick fire question.
Go on.
Best thing that you did with your supplement routine?
That I was doing it.
Okay.
I didn't have any supplements.
You never took supplements?
I did for a long time, and then it stopped when we had the kids.
Okay.
And I didn't take any supplements up until I started doing Shilajit. And then as I started doing Shilajit, it was rank, right? It was terrible. The taste of that resin was horrendous to begin with. And I was putting in my peppermint tea, but now I love it. And I just put it straight on my tongue. I just got it in my mouth on the little spoon that you get, walking around doing stuff, you know? But it was actually starting the supplements, right? And then also asking for help with the supplements and not trying to work it all out myself. I basically just asked you, I remember I asked you ages ago, probably about that time, and I said, Grant, tell me what supplements you take. And then you just did a video of it all. And I went, cool, I buy that. And then I literally just bought it all and started doing it.
And interestingly, I'm not taking any supplements right now. I'm on a total detox.
Yeah.
And I've had withdrawal symptoms. I've had
And I bet mine's
poor
not
sleep.
perfect.
And
Yeah.
I've got ill. I never get ill.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do believe that there's a good supplement routine for everyone. I think intention is really important with supplements.
And also, personally, that millions of people will also agree with as well, is that the supplement intake is never perfect. And I think the only time it can be as close to perfect as possible is when you do that test that you've done, and blood test. Right?
Yeah, which
I've not done yet. Right. So, yeah.
We're all going through levels at the end of the day.
As long as you're doing it and you're actually learning.
So-
And I've had to change the dosage and I've had to change the ones I'm taking. I'm not feeling quite right, so I'm just going to remove that and try this.
You're subjectively measuring what works, what doesn't. I think when we can get to, and this is what I'm trying to do with Longevity Masters and the Turn Back Time Machine, is I'm trying to show people that there's a lot more stuff that you can measure objectively rather than subjectively. And if we can be more objectively aware of how old we are and the things that we need to put into our bodies, it will actually motivate us to do it more, which is why I'm wearing a glucose monitor. I know the things that I should and shouldn't be eating. However, this is telling me the nuances in what I'm eating at the moment. Really weirdly, I have a really healthy drink that I have. And normally I have it to break my fast and to flush my system before I start having food. When I did that on my first day of having this, it spiked my blood sugar, right? So what I'm doing now is I'm having a nice high protein, high fat meal first, then having that.
Yeah.
And the glucose monitor is flat.
What meal are you doing?
Like high protein,
Eggs.
so like eggs, meat, cheese,
Yeah.
avocado, all that sort of stuff. High protein, high fat.
Totally.
And then when I have that drink, it doesn't do anything to my blood sugar.
Yeah.
So I'm having all the right things, but doing it in a slightly different order because objectively, because this is telling me how my body's reacting, objectively, that's telling me I should do it that way rather than subjectively. Yeah? Rather than how you feel.
Look, it's all biological as well, isn't it? You two talking this last year. This is like, it's not hard. If you want to put on weight, eat more. And eat more of the right stuff. Because I was going through a stage May last year, where I wanted to bulk and I wanted to put on loads of muscle, right? And I was really in a mindset at the time where I don't want to put any fat on. But then you have to put on fat to bulk out.
A little bit, yeah.
You have to put on some timber. Because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to build the muscle you ate.
Correct.
So I was doing 6 meals a day. I was doing 3,500 calories. And I did that for about a month and a half, 2 months. And all I was doing was cooking. All I was doing was cooking. I wasn't spending any time with anyone pretty much. I was just cooking the whole time. And I was miserable. Absolutely miserable. And I'm like, what am I doing? But then I reduced it down. And like I put on 5 kilos in like 3 months. Something like that. Like, that's incredible. Like the amount that I was 80 kilos when I was 85 and I'm around about 83, 84 now. So yeah, that was interesting. I'm waffling on a bit now.
That's okay. So just to sort of, because we're getting to the end now,
Conclude.
so just to summarise, there's two sides of this, business and personal.
Yeah.
How has this journey over the last couple of years changed how you show up in your business?
I just take full ownership of it now. Beforehand, I'd try and do stuff that would make it easier, shall we say?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I was doing stuff that would try and make things easier so that like I wouldn't have to work as much. And or maybe not work as much, but would benefit me more. And then as soon as like perspective had started to not change, because I've always had this type of mentality. A lot of people say, oh, Mark, you're so positive, and Mark, oh, you're enthusiastic and stuff, which is great. Okay, cool. But
I always thought it was a bit of a cover-up.
it was a mask, huge mask. It was a lot of things that I was covering up because of the amount of suffering that I was.
That's why I've always
inflicting on
always
myself.
poked you.
Yeah,
Because if I poke you, the real Mark comes
I'll
out.
smash a light switch. But say that. So the question was,
So
how do I show
has
up in my
it changed
business?
How you show up
How
in
has
your
it
business?
changed how I show up in my business?
How do you come into work differently now?
I wouldn't say that I always go into every day like wanting to do it. Exactly. But I, regardless of how I feel, I don't wait for a feeling to do it.
Interesting.
I will, even if I'm feeling like just mentally tired and everything, I'll still go to the gym. I'll still have my cold shower, and I'll still turn up for my kids, and I'll still turn up. I might not be like in the best of moods, but I'll still go and do it. And the way it's helped me to turn up more in my business is that I just, in a way, putting it, is I enjoy doing the hard things. I enjoy the uncomfortability of it all. So it's like Tony Robbins says, you know,
You've
like,
almost removed the emotion and you just act. And by just acting, it makes you feel better.
but then emotionally, I might be quite angry or I might be quite sad.
But the acting removes that
Yeah,
emotion.
I've just got myself into a position now where, yeah, the odd day, maybe I'll regress. I say regress, that's probably not the right word, but I won't go and do something, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll switch and I'll be like, within a few minutes, I'll be like, I know what I did there. Right, let's go have that cold shower.
Okay.
Just as soon as when I'm on a lesson, for example, I'll just sometimes go to one of my students. I'll go, so if you turn left, you'll go down a road that you've never driven down before, and it's going to be really hard. Or if you turn right, you're going to go down
Blue pill or the red pill?
right, pretty much. And I'll go, up to you, turn left or right. Give me enough time, make your choice. And then I'll have some that decide to go down the route that they don't know. And then I'll have some people that just choose the easy, comfortable route. And then I'll know how to help them more by deciding, by the choice of that. Yeah. So then I'll be able to go, okay, they like being shoved in the deep end there, or they don't. So let's just maybe not take them where an Arctic lorry might crash into on a roundabout.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So good move.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, but then at the time when I was doing that, I just wanted everyone to choose the hardest route.
Mm.
But then I realised, well, I can't make that happen all the time.
Sure.
You know?
Okay, so same question, but personally, how has this changed how you show up for the people that you love?
Oh, well, this year, my big thing is about presence. Peace as well, obviously, but it's just about, I'm a lot more present than I ever have been with like everything that I have chosen to do in my life and with everyone that I surround myself with. And when I say being present and having that presence, it's not all about being in a great happy mood all the time, but it's about being there even if I am feeling rubbish. And if I'm feeling like, oh, I need to potter around here like Mum used to always do and clean this up and clean that up. As soon as I think about doing that, most of the time now anyway, I'll then go, no, oh, it's painful, I want to do it, but I need to be in that living room with the girls. I need to be in that room right now. Regardless if I'm going to say anything, regardless if I'm going to be in a great mood, I just need to be in there.
And before you might have avoided it.
Yeah, totally. But still at times, when I'm not being fully aware of it, I'll go and potter or I'll go and do the things that I used to do. But I am a lot more aware of it now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot more aware of it. And it happened this morning, actually, where I was doing it and then I realised, it took me a bit longer to realise, it took me like half an hour, 45 minutes to realise it, and that's a lot longer than it normally takes me. And then that's when I decided, right, I'm going to drive Lucy down to her singing lesson. And all girls, you were all coming in the car. Let's go. And I knew I just needed to be there with everyone. I knew I needed to be there. And then if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have stopped by and I wouldn't have parked up next to you opposite Dreams. And then when we drove back, I was like, I went the wrong way to pick Lucy up. I went down this way and I saw Kerry walking back up towards home. And I'm like, and then as I picked Lucy up, we drove back towards home and then saw her again walking past. And then she called me up 5 minutes later and she was like, what are you up to tonight? I was like, we're going to go out for a can I come? Yeah, why not? Whatever. And I'd said to myself, I'll tell you what, let me just read this out right now. If you don't mind, I'm going to read this out.
Okay.
This is in my journal and this is kind of like a mission statement. I devote my time to God. I devote my time to myself. I devote my time to my family, to my friends, and to friends that I haven't met yet. I am humble, I'm vulnerable, and I ask for help. I do not hold back who I truly am, and I am honest with everyone in my life, but I am also not harsh. I give my all in every area in my life. I protect my energy when faced with evil, and I do my best not to give in to temptation. I feel every emotion that fills my being, and I do not try and deflect and mask how I feel. How I feel helps me to connect with my true self and to connect with all my loved ones and people I want to be surrounded by. I am on this earth to help people feel, including myself, to not be afraid of feeling uncomfortable, to smile, laugh, be silly, playful, and happy. And I can't control a lot of the stuff that I'm going to encounter. But stuff like what's happened today, it's just like, go with this universal energy. Go with it. You can't stop it from happening.
Yeah.
You are, well, I am personally, this is my perception, I am not in control with the stuff that happens around me. But like you say, I can choose the meaning I apply to it. And where focus goes, energy grows. Is that? No, where focus goes, energy flows. So,
do you know what makes a man? Which is something that I've picked up on that you've talked about quite a lot. And to really simplify it, what makes a man, and I hope everyone else sees this as well, is presence, peace, and purpose. If you have those three things, you are a real man.
Add two more on there. Perspective and patience.
Interesting.
You know, the 5 Ps we used to go on. Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yeah.
That's the new 5 Ps right there.
Yeah, there you go.
There's loads of, I worked on 5 Ps and there were 6 Ps as well. But, and I obviously know that one. But those are the 5 Ps, pretty much what you said there. And I wanted to bring that up here right now, but I forgot about it and you just said it here.
There you go.
You know, I can't make all this happen.
So we've got the 5 Ps. What are they?
Presence, peace, purpose, perspective, and patience.
There you go. And that, my friends, is what makes you a man, those 5 Ps. So to wrap things up, if there was another guy running his own business in the place that you were 2 or 3 years ago, what would you want him to hear?
You're not alone. Ask for help.
Really interesting. Jim Rohn, he says, the secret to have anything in your life is, write this down, to ask. Close notes.
And then the other one is if you write it, you invite it.
Yeah, if you write, you invite.
And since I've written down loads more stuff recently,
100%.
I've had stuff happen and I'm like, how did that happen? I just wrote down one sentence. It took me 30 seconds.
So ask for help and write down what you want. It is as simple as that.
Ask and you shall receive.
And we reap what we sow. And that is one of the biggest messages that we can give. So we've got the 5 Ps. If you want help, ask. And if you want to achieve something, write it down. So just to finish things up, Mark, if people wanted to get in contact with you, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
On my website, benchmarklessons.co.uk.
Cool.
Benchmark with a C, not a K.
It'll all be in the show notes. Just so
and then, I believe my number's on there so you can WhatsApp me. Don't call me because I won't answer.
Email, go through the website.
WhatsApp. I've got a young family. I run my own business. I schedule my calls. So if you message me, I'll schedule a call with you.
Excellent. Remember, guys, longevity is the highest form of providing that any man can do for their family. Yes, I know your family needs to be financially stable, but guess what? They want you to be present in their lives. They want to have you present in their lives. So don't ever forget that. And is there anything else that you'd like the audience to leave with, Mr. Hutchby?
Yeah, Mr. Hutchby. We've probably already talked about it, but it's going to be hard. It's not easy. Simple things.
But it's worth it.
Things are simple. Things are simple. But the simple things sometimes aren't easy. Just turn up. 90% of success and 90% of presence is just being there.
Turning up and not giving up.
Boom. Just don't give up. Don't give in. And if you have that voice in your head that tells you to do something that's going to hurt yourself or others, good luck if you decide to listen to that voice.
And if you do end up listening to the voice, tell it to shut up as quickly as possible.
Right, and say it. Just say, shut up, voice. Literally. Just go, shut up, voice, and then choose an alternative. Choose a better thing. If there's any one thing that has changed everything for me, is you cannot stop something. You can replace it. So yes, you can stop eating sweets, but then I chose to chew gum, or I chose to drink herbal tea.
That
So
is
replace it. Don't stop it.
the best way to stop any bad habit is to add something into your life that stops you from doing it.
Yeah.
Not to try and quit doing that thing.
Go from bad to better.
Too right.
Yeah.
Cool. So, amazing interview. Thanks for coming along, bro.
What, bro?
Appreciate that.
Enjoyed that.
Yeah, no worries.
Lovely.
And guys, remember this one thing. Be young, be happy, and be free, people. Take care. I'll see you soon.